Hello and welcome to The Ascertainers, a Generation Jones perspective. My name is Jim. My co-host is and founder of the podcast is Mark. We'll get to him in a minute. First, I want to, though, explain what Generation Jones is, because our original name was a baby boomer's perspective, and then we both realized that we are both at the very tail end of the baby boomers movement and don't really associate with baby boomers, nor do we associate with Generation X. So there's actually a name for people that are born in the mid-60s, 1960s, and that is called Generation Jones. So, so that's what we got going. I want to introduce my former next-door neighbor, Mark, and let him tell a little bit about himself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mark. I used to live right next door to Jim. That's how we met. I'm married, got 2 kids, 2 boys, same as Jim. Always trying to copy him. And recently retired. Well, I shouldn't even say recently. I retired a couple of years ago, early retirement, and thought I'd start a podcast.
And there you go.
Back to you.
And I was dumb enough to say yes to it. That was cool. I still work. Yes, I have a smoking hot wife and 2, call them boys, but they're really men. They're old, like us. I guess you all already know how old we are based on the Generation Jones stuff. But, Mark and I tend to, over the 20-plus years we've known each other, will enjoy a few adult beverages and kind of philosophize and solve some of the world's problems and things like that. And definitely enjoy each other's company and perspectives, and we sure don't agree on everything. And we thought, for some reason, this might be interesting to people because it seems like everybody has a podcast now, and we thought we'd throw our hat in the ring as well. And if you like it, great. Tell your favorite Fortune 500 business to cut us a check for that sponsorship, and we'll be out of your hair.
Yeah, and then we're out there for people. I'm pushing 60. Jim is also, but he always thinks I'm 8 years older than he is. I don't know why. It might be my looks, but
it's because of all the 8 years you spent in 11th grade.
Yeah, but I did really well that last year.
That's yeah. Athletically too, you were dominant.
Thank you. But yeah, then we got to know each other, and here we are.
Yeah. Also should point out the full name of the podcast is The Ascertainers, a Generation Jones perspective, and the Ascertainers is kind of an inside joke. There was a old sketch comedy show called The Kids in the Hall, which is a Lorne Michaels production, Lorne Michaels of Saturday Night Live fame, and they had this skit where a person was called into his boss's office, and he was literally getting in trouble because of his overuse of the word ascertain. And Mark and I found that independently, we found that funny. And then one day, somehow, ascertain came up in a conversation, and we both made eye contact like, really? You know that sketch? So over the years, I bet, I don't know, probably 50 times in conversation, someone will say ascertain, and that just, literally nobody else gets the joke but us. But so that's what better way to entice people to listen is to have a totally inside joke.
We could have went with the bass player sketch also on that one.
Kids in the Hall it was ahead of its time. Very funny stuff. I think generally speaking, what to expect. You're not going to hear a lot of political stuff. Mark's a huge sports guy. We both like movies. Mark's way more into sports than I am, and he wants to talk a lot about sports. So I'll just try to derail his conversation when that happens. But we're from Minnesota, so we're both frustrated Vikings fans, and we could probably talk about our greatest disappointment. We'll sound like George Costanza's dad, at Festivus, the airing of grievances. Thanks, Gary Anderson. But also, there might be a swear word in once in a while, but we're going to try to keep it, cleanish. And we also don't want to we're using our first names only. not that anyone cares, but if there is a person in a story that we don't want to incriminate anybody, so Mark has this fictitious character, and I'll let him introduce right now for any time he's going to tell a story about somebody, but he wants that person to remain anonymous.
Yeah, I came up with the name Audie. I don't know why that stuck with me, Audie Murphy or something, but I don't think too many people are being named Audie anymore.
Are you sure you're not pronouncing Eddie Murphy's name wrong? Who is Audie Murphy? Remember, you're in Generation Jones. You're not in like the Civil War times. What is Audie Murphy? What did he do? Was he an inventor?
No, I believe Audie Murphy was the most decorated World War II soldier.
Oh, now I feel like crap. Thanks,
and then he went on to star in Hollywood.
All right.
So.
Okay, well, I guess I suck. Anyway, so thank you for your service, Audie Murphy. And loved you in Trading Places too. But so my fictitious guy is going to be Chumley, because it seems that when I see someone doing something questionable in my head, I just go look at Chumley over here. But I think Chumley originated as a cartoon character on, I think, Chilly Willy the Penguin.
Oh, I only think of Pawn Stars. Chilly Willy the Penguin.
I can sing a few bars. Yeah, it was a great cartoon back in the Tom and Jerry era.
Oh.
So it was after the Looney Tunes stuff, but before Tom and Jerry. And while we're at it, let's talk about when I think society started going to hell. Tom and Jerry, are you familiar with their work?
Yes. I didn't care for the 70s. I liked the early stuff.
Okay, I thought this. Well, yeah. What happened is that Tom and Jerry, Tom was a cat, Jerry was a mouse, and they're basically the whole cartoon episode would be them, trying to kill each other, and it was funnier than it sounds now. On paper, it doesn't look that good, but they would come up with hilarious, ways to blow each other up and all that kind of stuff. And I remember the one day that I tune in, and it was like the animation had changed, and something was different. And then I realized these guys are now friends, and now they're trying to like solve problems together and stuff. And I thought, as a kid, even, I'm like, all right, this isn't fun.
Yes. Cartoons took a nosedive there for a while.
Yeah, I think it's because they tried to become politically correct or something,
and then it went back right after Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy changed it where you could be crude and
I suppose
just out there.
Simpsons too, and stuff like that. But yeah, there's some things are sacred, so leave Tom and Jerry out of this. But okay, anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we were to cover from a foundational standpoint, but
I do want to bring up that we don't know what we're doing.
Oh, that's right. I think they figured that out by now, Mark.
Well, just with all the equipment, just researching that, trying to figure out the mixer, recorder, different mics, how to edit in Audacity. Maybe we won't edit at all and just throw out whatever spouts out of our mouth.
I think, if you really think about it, I think we're probably the odds-on favorite to have Audacity sponsor the podcast because we're doing such a great job. We are probably not even recording right now. I see some little things on the thing there, but that might just be like dust on the screen. Hey, I was at a bar. Shocker. Chris and I were... Chumley and I were out eating. my trophy wife and I were out eating, and the guy next to us was talking to the bartender, and he was talking about he was trying to get tickets for a upcoming Red Hot Chili Peppers show.
Is this a joke?
No, it's happening.
No, I walked into a bar.
Yeah. Anyway, this really happened. What happens if you have to burp? Because I got one on deck right now, and it's going to be a scorcher, and I don't think we have, mute buttons.
We don't.
Okay, so anyway, I apologize for that. We might be able to edit that out or mark.
We won't figure that out, so it's in
Okay.
there.
Well, I'm human. But so this guy was saying that the tickets for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they weren't even like good floor tickets, were going for $800 a piece. And I was just like, in their prime, I wouldn't pay, and they're well past their prime. They're still good, but there's no way I'd pay $800 for a ticket. Do you remember the first concert you went to, and do you remember how much the ticket cost?
I don't remember the cost of the ticket. It was probably around $20, but it was
$20. Was it like a festival?
It was a Black and Blue concert.
Was that
Blue Oyster Cult and Black Sabbath.
nice? Who was singing for Black Sabbath?
Uh,
Was it Ozzy or was it like Dio?
it was Dio.
Okay,
I believe it was in the 80s.
Ozzy was solo starting in like '81.
Yeah, so it would have been Dio.
Okay, still solid. Blue Oyster Cult, underrated.
It was.
Little Cultosaurus Erectus. Is that what the name of one of their songs? And Black Blade.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a deep
I'm
cut.
telling you what, man. I over my left shoulder is we're in my basement right now, the bunker, and my folks recently moved. Well, a year ago, whatever, and I was able to obtain the console stereo that sat in the living room of my parents' house that I listened to hours and hours of KQ. So I lived in I grew up in Rochester, Minnesota. People are going to know who we are right away. Anyway,
Because you're so well known in Rochester.
so well known I had to move. So anyway, my dad set up had like a, I don't know what the hell it was. It was a type of antenna where you could pull, from the cities. So I don't know. I have like this odd, as evidenced by knowing more than one Blue Oyster Cult song, and it wasn't even Burnin' or Fear the Reaper.
Right.
But I gained this weird ability to like have a photographic memory for music. So that's not photograph, whatever what you would call it. But it's useless. It really is. And now there's this thing called Shazam where you don't even need to. So I got all this crap that I remember that I don't need to, and all the important stuff that could have really helped me, be retired by now. I'm not retired, by the way. Has escaped me. So I think I used up my disk space incorrectly.
But I think that goes back to our perspective on life. I remember music for the time that happened, and my life is kind of followed by a musical soundtrack, if you would.
Wow.
That's how I remember things, and it's always...
Give me an example.
Like Kashmir. Summer Day.
Led
out
Zeppelin.
with friends. Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, Kashmir from Physical Graffiti, by the way.
Which is...
a little tidbit for you.
I was listening to that. We were having a great time. It was just one of the perfect evenings being in high school. And that ended up being my favorite song because of that evening.
Aw.
So.
That's great. I don't remember being there, Mark. What? Oh, we didn't know each other then?
We did not.
I
We don't know each other now.
I remember, ouch. I remember a certain life event that most men remember, and it was side 2 of Led Zeppelin "In Through the Outdoor." And now that I think about how ironic, even how ironic is,
isn't that from a movie?
It shouldn't have been called "In Through the Outdoor."
Isn't that from a movie though? Put on side 2 of Led Zeppelin when you're on the date.
I think it's Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay.
When Damone was talking, he
yeah,
says, put on, but I don't think it was Zeppelin.
It was something crazy like that. It was just something that was heavy rock and roll.
Yeah,
but not romantic music.
I love it in Wayne's World when Garth, it's Wayne's World 2, I think, when Garth is with Kim Basinger, whatever, and she's like trying to seduce him for some reason, and she goes, put on some music, and he goes, you got any Megadeth? Anyway, my first concert was at the Rochester Civic Center, and it was a band called Head East, and this was like I think I was in 10th grade, and one of the members of Head East had a little problem that night. I think he might have passed out on stage, so it was kind of a short concert, but it still technically counts as my first concert. And then my first, like, the next concert I went to, I saw Rush and Lacrosse, and we were right in the front row. So that's how I kind of became.
Were you a Rush fan before that?
Prior to, yeah. My brother had 2112, and this is wild, I think, especially in this day and age where you've got the internet. You would listen to 2112, and the only reference you had to what these guys looked like was the one picture on the back of the record. And it's these three guys, they're in robes. They look kind of badass, but they also look kind of weird. And the drummer is in the middle, and then the other two guys are kind of flanking him. Flanking, look it up. Flankfurter. Anyway, so I'm looking at this, and I thought the guy in the middle was the singer. And it's Geddy Lee, right? The singer is Geddy Lee. That was Neil Peart, is how I say it, in the middle. But the thing is this, though, is back then, right now you could just look up, you could go online. Your kids today
Google
don't
everything.
they don't have that, what's the word? I mean, they think
intelligence.
You think that they got it better because they can just look at, but they don't get the ability to use their imagination or whatever it might be, because I mean, it's just right there. Satellite radio, Netflix, DVRs. I mean, we had to like rent a damn VHS tape to watch.
You know, that's funny, bringing that all together. When I listened to Pink Floyd The Wall, I love that album.
I remember that album well.
And I had the movie in my mind. Some of it was not like the animation that they had, but some of it was spot on when he made that movie.
Who made that movie? Was it John Waters?
No, it was Bob Gelfand?
Bob Geldof?
Geldof.
From Live Aid?
Yeah.
And the Boomtown Rats?
And he was Pink Floyd in the movie.
I haven't seen the movie. It's animated, right?
No. It's kind of clips.
They have like animated clips where the soldiers marching and crap,
Yeah.
or is that just from a video?
It's not a continuous story movie, but
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. We'll talk about it on a. If we put this episode out, and there's another episode, I think I need to like say I'll shave my mustache or something like that.
you don't have a mustache.
They don't know that.
Oh, that's right. It's not a video. But coming up, you were talking about Head East, and that was another reason I wanted to do this podcast, is because I'm starting to lose recall. That was my phone. Sorry.
Yeah.
That wasn't very professional. But I'm starting to lose recall and, trying to come up with words, and, I'll be talking to someone and going, well, you told me this, you told me that, and they're looking at me like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I figure out later that, yeah, it was a completely different person that was at that get-together or told me that story, and I was just like, wow.
And that has what to do with Head East?
Well, you were bringing up Head East, and I couldn't remember their hit song that I loved.
Saved my life from going down for the
There
last
you
time.
go.
Probably.
See? And I love that song, and I know it, but I couldn't recall it while you were telling the story.
They had another song that Rainbow also did called Since You've Been Gone. And both versions are very good, but they're quite different. What are you doing on your phone, Mark?
Oh, I'm...
Are you trying to act like, oh, Mark's getting a lot of texts because he's like more popular than Jim?
No, since I retired early and I have all this free time, especially in the winter, I started curling like Jared Allen of the Vikings.
Okay.
And
12-ounce curls, because he did a lot of those too. But so, you want to explain what curling is to the listening public?
it's people
It's
throwing stones down.
It's shuffleboard on ice.
It is.
For people that have nothing better to do.
With a broom, you sweep, and they say, oh, you can change the direction and speed. I don't think you can. But
It's an Olympic sport. There's people that run a marathon and get a gold medal, and then there's people that sweep ice and throw shuffleboard rocks and get the same gold medal. That doesn't seem right. Nothing again. I'm not trying to.
I don't think shuffleboard's in the Olympics.
Curling a shuffleboard on ice.
Right, but come on, you got to be a curling fan because you're from Minnesota. Schuster, the greatest curler in America's history, is from Duluth.
Okay, no one's challenging you on this, by the way. Does he have a first name? Name 5 Schuster songs. Okay. So we saw Mark took me to a.
I'm sorry, we got really off track there.
No,
from
well,
your story.
I don't know what's. Yeah, we actually have notes here, but musically, there's a guy, a local Minnesota guy, named is it Mick Sterling?
Yes.
And he has these different. He's been around forever. He's super entertaining. I highly recommend you check him out if you get a chance. But he's got these different like tribute bands that he does, and I know he's got. For sure, well, the two that we've seen together for about what $30 a ticket, as opposed to $800
Yeah,
for
about
Chili
35.
Pepper stuff.
Yeah.
We saw a Van Morrison tribute and then a Billy Joel tribute, and they were great. So I really miss seeing live music, like you used to. Seems like there's fewer and fewer places to see like local bands and stuff like that. But
Right. We're from the Twin Cities in Minnesota, the Minneapolis, St. Paul. We're in the South Metro, and we go to a local community center.
yeah, it's an old church.
And it's a great venue for music. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
It's small. It's like borderline. You could kind of call it intimate if you're on the lower section, but then there's a balcony too. So, but no, it's a great kind of it's your taxpayer dollar at work, right? It's,
for Generation Jones's type people.
Right
It's
on.
a bunch of gray hairs.
man, if Mick Sterling did a Blue Oyster Cult tribute band, we would be the only two people there, I think. Even though for the one show, Van Morrison, I mean, we could have got on everybody's Christmas card list because there was only like 50 people there.
Right.
So,
But I think the word got out. Oh, it's a great venue, and he is a very...
well, we're getting it out right now. Go check out the Lakeville Center for the Arts, I think is what they call it. And
Even for your California listeners, fly in. Do it.
do you think we're going to have a California listener?
Oh, tons.
I think the closest we're going to get is a guy who had the California burger earlier in the week, and that I don't see that happening. I have to tell you something. I went to Fargo, North Dakota yesterday. I have a son who plays in various music bands, and there was a little music festival up in North Dakota. So when we got there, and I've got a nephew that lives up there, so we thought, okay, let's this makes sense to drive 4+ hours to see. But anyway, there's some. He's got some friends that were playing that night that I haven't seen in a while, so I thought it made sense to make the trek. We get there, and the tickets were will call, which is kind of funny because it's a pretty small. it's like the venue is a bar. There's a bar, and above the bar is it's called the aquarium. It's like they have like all ages shows, and last night's show was all ages. So
Did you need tickets actually to get in?
you did need tickets, yeah, but they were like $12, right? So I mean, for $800, you can get your live music fix for a whole lot less than. But when we get there, we're looking for a place to park, and we turn the corner onto Broadway, and I shit you not, there are probably 10 cop cars, lights on, right in front of where. So earlier, like an hour earlier or whatever, there was a guy in the bar. People were in there drinking and doing their thing, and there's a guy in there kind of acting a little, erratically, and somebody thought they saw something shiny in his pocket, and they thought he was like it was a gun. So so I see the cop cars, and the first thing I think is, oh no, don't let it be my kid, hog-tied on the ground, So it wasn't, but not that he would, because he's a good kid who's never done anything that would be even close to against the law.
Was the guy kicked out? Was it just a misunderstanding, or did you ever find out?
They detained him and all that good stuff. There was a U.S. Marshal showed up on the scene, and for some reason, like 4 different people I talked to were like, "Oh, the filing of the U.S. Marshal has something to do." So I mean, this U.S. Marshal they're supposed to be kind of like undercover, right?
Yes,
Well,
I think so.
Not that one. Anyway, so that was weird though. That there was that huge, and the person I was with actually is a retired cop, a buddy of mine. It's a long story. I'm trying not to name names and whatever, but we
Chumley.
my old college roommate. Oh, he's not a Chumley's a negative term. This is I'll call him Audie.
Okay,
how about
that's
that?
fine. Steal my stuff.
I'm borrowing it. I'll give it back. But he's a retired police officer, and he's like, that's probably nice.
Was that a belch and a
like
word at the same time?
No, it was just I kind of went Mr. Ed on the thing there, but he's like, that's got to be every cop in Fargo right now. There's no way that Fargo. So anyway, but the show was great. Got to see some really good, some good live music, and yeah, Fargo seemed like a pretty cool city as far as a little downtown area, bunch of little bars, and
That's where my folks are from.
Get the hell out of here. Your folks are from Fargo?
They are.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
I've known you 22 years. This is our 23rd year, I think. And
I try to keep the mystery in our relationship so you don't get bored with me.
Well, there's some things that I still question. But
you know that $800 for, is that what you said for the
chili peppers?
Yeah.
I think it was 400 or 800. Maybe it was 800 for 2 or something. But
well, anyways, my brother-in-law invited me to go see Roger Waters this summer.
Really?
And I didn't even think I paid for dinner, but if the tickets were that much, boy, I really screwed him over.
Oh, did you go?
I did go. We had a great time. It was a great concert.
And who was this?
Roger Waters, Pink Floyd.
Who took you?
My brother-in-law, Audie.
Down in, can't say where he's from. Okay, Audie. Is he an Audie or a Chumley?
He's an Audie.
Okay, so that's how we can do it. If it's a positive thing, decorated war veteran Audie Murphy will be their name. But if it's somebody who's like a tool, that's a goofball. Let's just say it. Let's not be afraid to call someone a goofball. Okay, I don't want to get too blue here, but then they'll be Chumley. How's that?
Maybe I'm the Chumley because
no. You not maybe. You are the Chumley.
But he bought the tickets. I didn't even ask him how much they were, but I bought him dinner, and then I did the Uber back and forth. But it probably only covered.
Yeah, let me know. Find out. We'll talk about that next time. That seems like a real cliffhanger. Yeah, everyone's going to be like, when's the next one come out?
I did a podcast to feel bad about myself. Great.
Roger Waters. He pitched for the Red Sox. No?
It was a great concert. Very political, but I still love it.
Political in what way? Like,
Roger Waters hates everybody, every government. He's I don't know, he's like, who's the guy from All in the Family?
Archie Bunker?
Yeah. He's just a cranky, he's older than us.
Was it fun?
Oh, it was a great concert. And,
where was it? Where was it? In Minnesota?
Yeah, it was at the Target Center.
Oh, this is your sister's husband.
Yes, correct.
I thought it was your wife's brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said that.
No problem.
It's not a brother-in-law. Or is it a brother-in-law?
That'd be a brother-in-law.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I always get confused on that stuff.
Twice removed.
So I can date him.
You don't have to date him. You can reproduce. Shoot, man. Keep talking. There's something that really was...
Well, that's why
I remember.
Go ahead.
Shut the fuck up. We went and saw the Cranberries. What? Don't spit on the control board that we just got on Amazon. The cranberries. The cranberries were good, man.
Oh,
Don't tell me you didn't like Zombie.
Zombies.
But
You can't do that to an old guy, a Generation
I think this
Jones
is great.
guy.
I think that's good. So anyway, I thought that it's Dolores like Reardon or something. She passed away. She died recently. The Cranberries.
I know that.
Do you remember? She was kind of fetching. She was a good-looking Irish lass.
I have no idea what she looked like.
Okay, well she was good-looking.
Was that your MTV?
So
phase?
we go with some friends of ours. First thing is she's wearing a knee brace, so it's like, I can't wait to see this. It's Dolores O'Riordan, I think is her name, and all of a sudden she's like shows up like she got it was in a touch football game that went poorly or something. Then she would introduce a song like this, like multiple times. This next song is about a village near where I grew up that was bombed. I mean, it was, and then they would go in and sing this like really cool song, but it was like, oh my gosh, I feel shitty for old Dolores and the whole Cranberry crew. But you know who warmed up?
Who?
Or opened? Cracker.
Oh, I love Cracker.
Yes. That was such a good. That was a very balanced. Like the Cracker was easily as good as the Cranberries, and nobody in the Cracker had a knee brace on either. So.
Oh, I like Cracker.
You know who a Cracker singer is? Because I might be wrong.
I don't know him, but I saw him on. Who's the guy on HBO that does the political thing?
Bill.
Yes.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Cracker was on, or the singer?
The singer.
Is it not Camper Van Beethoven?
No, that's the Camper Van Beethoven. I believe is the Led Zeppelin sounding band.
No, that's Greta Van Fleet.
Is it? Oh.
How's that recall coming there, Audie? I mean Shumley. Hang on, you talk. I gotta look up. Camper.
It was 3 names in a row, so I was pretty close, no matter what.
Camper Van Beethoven. Oh, dude, I think you're right. Yep. Yeah, they were that was the name of a band, not of a guy. So let me do this. Let me look up Cracker lead singer.
Now,
Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
You were very hurtful towards me and made me sound like an idiot that I was losing my mind. And then you kind of mumbled out, yeah, you were right.
I don't think I said that. I said that I'm not wrong. All right, Cracker. Let's get a little Wikipedia. It says Cracker, a derogatory term for anyway. David Lauer, Johnny Hickman. Oh,
you were so close.
Not even. My bad. So my apologies. Remember when I said I used to listen to music and I have a real keen knowledge? Scratch that. We have to edit all this out.
I rarely beat you in the music. What would you say?
Minutia?
Yeah.
Trivia? Well,
I did see Modern English one time.
Can we... Oh, hold on. Modern English, is that the one with John Waite? Or that was...
No. I don't think anybody famous was in it.
Ooh, the Babies. John Waite was the Babies, but he was in some other band too.
But Modern English had one hit, and I can't even remember what it was.
I'll Stop the World and Melt
Yes. And they played it
on
a second song, and then they played it on the encore.
They just kept playing it? That's awesome!
That's all they had.
It's like, hey, thanks for coming out. Let's just be honest.
Sorry about that.
Nobody knows any of our other songs. We're just going to keep playing this one until people start walking out.
I pounded the table there, so if I'm sorry.
Our blue lines, I think our confidence fluid is kicking in because the blue lines are huge now.
Right.
I hope we haven't blown out any speakers or eardrums.
We are watching our voices on the computer, trying to gauge the volume.
Amplitude?
Wow. That's very...
So, can you say what you used to do for a living, or are you not comfortable with that? You don't have to.
Well, did you see American Gigolo?
course I did.
I wasn't that. How about Midnight Cowboy?
You're going to keep going, so that's a no. I'm going to say that's a no. But the thing you said was pretty funny, I thought, when you talked about the announcements or whatever.
Oh, won't say that on the...
Okay. Well, now they're going to think you're like a school principal because of the announcements. So I think that's a good thing to plant in their head.
I'm not a principal.
I almost said your first and last name, but the boy who took 11th grade 4 times.
No, I said 8 times, and that's yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if that's the part we scrapped, that we edited out.
No, I think that's on this one.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, how's this going so far, you think?
Good. I think we're having fun. I still think we have some musical stuff that I want to get out there.
Okay. You should hit record. Those blue lines. It should be green lines because that means it's live. But
anyways, we were at the Lakeville Arts Center. I called Jim.
Drinking pineapple high noon seltzers. Living large.
Later on, but I would go down there by my lonesome because,
yep.
I don't have that many friends.
Yeah, with your podcast partner.
Yeah, and I got to see another band there, and they did the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, and they had the movie Wizard of Oz playing in the background. So they were playing to the movie.
That's wild. What was the name of the band? That wasn't Dark Star, was it?
No, Johnny James. They're playing this weekend.
We should
down
go.
There. Yeah, we should.
It is this weekend.
It is. I should say the following Friday.
I'm busy.
Well, I'll go with all my friends again. Like when I play golf, all by my lonesome.
Oh, Mark and I golf. We're trying to golf more. Tell them about your golf clubs, Mark.
Oh, I got the old people golf clubs. My irons are all hybrids.
So they're not irons. It looks like all woods.
Yes. They're all hybrids, yeah.
Does that help? Did your game get better?
It took a long time to figure out the clubs.
Okay.
And a couple years from now, I'll have it all figured out.
Okay. That might be the funniest thing you've ever said. So, are they all the same length or anything, like the DeChambeau guy, or no?
No.
They're different. They're different lengths and everything, but
they're just like the irons, but they just have the scramble type backing to them.
Scramble?
Yeah, you remember the old scrambler that had like a wood type head on it?
Nope.
Oh. Well, us,
I'm in Generation Jones there.
For us athletes,
Boomer. I'm sorry.
I am a curler, so for us athletes, we know this kind of stuff. I keep tapping the table and the computer, so
that's a sign
I apologize.
That's a sign of a rookie. That's probably going to cost us a Grammy, but that's okay. I have a buddy that I can't say. He's an Audi though, and he's a curler, and he's got a great name for his curling team. And I'm going to go ahead and say it because it's that good, and I don't think anyone's going to trace it back. But the name of their team is Curl Jam.
Oh, that is good.
It's fantastic, and he's pretty good apparently. So if you ever go up against him, you're going to have to figure out some kind of guerrilla tactic to take him down because you won't be able to do it on talent alone, I'm guessing.
We do have some.
Do you get down like in the crowd on one knee and all that stuff, or no?
I do.
Come on, I've seen you run. You have knees that are.
They're
on their way out.
But the stone's going down the ice, and no one's really looking at me when I'm trying to get back up, and it's so embarrassing.
You ever wiped out?
Yes, but not lately.
What kind of shoes do you wear? Do you have special shoes?
Yeah, I have curling shoes.
Are they like the old broom ball shoes?
They are.
Oh, those were the best.
You have grippers and you have sliders.
Are they high top?
No, they.
So the old broom ball shoes. I used to work at a sporting goods store. I was like the Al Bundy of my day in the shoe department, shoe and team sports.
So you are an
A
athlete.
real lady magnet. No, I ran cross country. All right. And then what's funny about it is I put on a few pounds since my cross country days, so it's quite hilarious actually. So anyway, the old broom ball shoes, they were white high tops. They looked like Chuck Taylor high tops, but they were all white, and they had orange, like the color of an eraser, orange, like sponge soles with holes, like little,
Right. Yeah,
like
I know
suction
that.
cups basically. But they were like super soft, and I can't believe I never bought a pair just to wear around town just as a goof. I think that would have been, maybe I still can. It's not too late.
Did you make your own broom?
Make my own broom? No, we just played with. They sold them at the store. They were like, it was like a thing dipped in like wax or whatever, some kind of hardened thing. I have never had a sorer groin than the one time I played broom ball. Holy crap, dude! Because every time you stop, you're like clenching the groinal area, the upper inner thigh, and this was back when I was actually in some kind of shape. If I did broom ball right now, I would probably be in a hospital, but in traction.
I made a broom ball broom. You have a regular, I don't know, straw broom.
Are you saying a curling broom or a broom ball broom?
Broom ball broom.
Okay.
You cut it down.
Yeah.
And you cut off part of the straw, and then you tape.
Oh, you just use tape.
of
You want it
the
to be
straw.
hard. You want it to be like
Right.
You want it to be nothing like a broom. So you take a broom and you make it not a broom, and that's what they call broom ball.
Right, but it is an actual broom, and that's how it got its name. So that's, I was just trying to stick to the actual heart of the sport.
Man, you're a real.
Because I am an athlete. I'm a curler.
You are an athlete. You played Division I football.
Yes, and I put my foot on the field during a game. I wasn't in the game, but actually the ref wasn't looking, so I put my foot on the field.
Oop, too many men.
Nobody saw it.
Well, that's that it didn't happen. You're breaking news right now. What's that say?
42 minutes.
Get right out of town. I think that's substantial.
Yeah.
What do you say? Why don't we do this? Why don't we hang it up for this episode? I appreciate each and every one of you, or should I say both of you, whoever listened. God bless you and all that good stuff. But thanks for putting up with this. This was really hard to get started. If you had any idea, and I don't know if it was consuming a couple more beers as we tried to ascertain the best way to do this.
Very nice.
Nailed it. But anyway, thank you for listening. We'll try to do this again, and odds are it might be better. Maybe we peaked. Maybe this is it.
I don't think so. I think we'll try to do it bi-weekly.
Maybe we're like Loverboy, just one good album and then just crap after that.
No, I think we're going to do it if people like us or not.
Good point. Probably not.
No, they'll love us.
All right. Well, that's.
And you can say you were the first before we became famous.
And you'll be able to say that for quite some time. So that's.
You'll buy the T-shirt before anyone else knows.
That's good. Well, Mark, thanks for doing this, and thanks for listening.
See you next time.